If you're currently unhappy with where you are right now in your life, all you have to do today is to start making better choices and decisions to better your tomorrow and your future. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and let's just get straight into today's video. A lot of people do not want to hear this, but we are exactly where we need to be. And how I know the evidence and the proof is because of the choices that we made previously and the choices that we did not make. Now, when it comes to your healing journey, there's no right or wrong way. So always take what resonates and leave the rest, as well as grabbing your pen, your paper, and taking notes. It's not cliche, and it's the honest truth. As your favorite mental health specialist, we're here to inform, educate, spread awareness, and most importantly, motivate. You have to realize that we made choices in our life, and just because we made certain choices in our life does not mean it's the end of the world. This doesn't mean that we cannot learn. This does not mean that we cannot improve ourselves. This doesn't mean that we have to feel stuck and stagnant. Everybody's going to have those days. Everybody's going to have those days. Shout out to Miley Cyrus, aka Hannah Montana. You have to realize that we made certain choices based off of the resources that we've had. We've made certain choices based off of the experiences we've been exposed to. We've made certain choices based off of our environment, our community, what we witnessed, what we saw, regardless if it was true or false, it was negative or positive. And in order for you to move forward and actually be satisfied and learn to be present with where you are, the first thing you have to do is accept it. So in this video, we're going to continue to recommend 4 things you have to do in order for you to be okay with where you are right now. The first thing, like I said, is acceptance. Why? Well, because you cannot go back in time. I'm pretty sure all of us wish that we can get us a time travel machine like Ronald McDonald. If you guys know, let me know, comment down below if you're too young for that, and go back in time. I'm pretty sure if we could call Dexter Laboratory and DD to whip us up something, we would all jump in the time machine together and be like, let's go back in time. But the truth is, we cannot. And over here, I'm not here to create false realities or illusions or to be delusional. Just because you made certain choices in your past does not mean that you're not able to grow from them and that you're not able to move forward. And I know, and of course, when you're going through things in the moment, it does seem difficult, it does seem challenging, it does seem overwhelming. I'm speaking from experience. I'm not invalidating your experience, but where I'm currently at right now, I am making this video to reassure you that you are going to be okay. But the longer you stay in your past when it's not in your current reality and you're focusing on people and places and spaces and things that have been removed from you, the longer you're going to deal with the PTSD, the longer you're going to deal with the anxiety, the longer you're going to feel like you have to compare yourself, the longer you're going to deal with the suffering, the longer you're going to deal with the trauma. We want to rebuke it. We want to release it. We don't want to be associated with that. And that's what's causing the mental blockages. It's okay if you grew up a certain way. It's okay if your past, your childhood trauma wasn't the best. Why? Because now, as of 2025, when I'm making this video or when you're watching this, you have the opportunity. You have to realize that time is a man-made structure. Meaning, when it comes to your life, all you can do is take every single day for what it is and learn. Every single day, you don't always have to be very serious or very stern. But when it comes to your healing journey, you do have to take time to yourself. So the second thing is allowing yourself to be in isolation, allowing the people and the places and the mindsets and the beliefs to die down and to be released. The reason why people struggle is because a lot of us have been attached, had attachment issues, had codependency issues. Maybe you didn't grow up in a household or an environment or a community where you were able to express yourself. You weren't able to articulate your feelings. You weren't able to be vulnerable. Maybe you weren't able to be seen. Maybe people took you being genuine and loving as some type of insecurity or weakness, and it caused you to feel discouraged or to shrink yourself. You cannot do that anymore. You have to know that What you went through was for a reason, and that reason is for you to discover. Because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself. Healing looks different for everybody. The time, the energy, the effort, what you actually were exposed to, the lessons you were supposed to learn is for you. So instead of comparing yourself, instead of beating yourself up, just realizing you went through certain things and that you can learn from them. But until you realize that the past is the past and change is inevitable, you're constantly going to be battling between flesh and spirit, for those of you who are biblical, or mind and reality. I'm not here to force religion or spirituality. You take what resonates, leave the rest. We cannot control the time all the time. We have to realize what we have control over versus the things that we don't. And that's the third thing. When you take the time to grieve, when you're in your isolation period, when you are realizing what you had to let go of and why, you don't have to be so bent out of shape over what you used to do or who you used to be. Now, of course, nostalgia, it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with memories. You can look at those times, for a sense of satisfaction. But you have to realize, if you're going to be stuck on your past, it's for you to evaluate. And that's the whole purpose of your isolation period. It's not lonely. You're just not used to being alone. And until you can accept that you are an individual, until you let go of the attachment issues, until you let go of the codependency issues, until you can accept that you had abandonment issues, until you guys, vent and grieve and stop suppressing how you feel and acknowledge what people did, whether it was right or wrong, what you did, and learn to let go of the baggage, you're going to feel like you're suffering. And that's the only reason why people are suffering, is because of the attachment. Because once again, unfortunately, trigger warning, the trauma has already happened to you. And until you learn to make peace with it, those people, those places and things who touched on you, who beat on you, who talked about you, who betrayed you, the jobs, the cars, the clothes, is gone. And those people are living their life. And speaking from experience, if they didn't care back then, it's not to say that people can't change and grow, but I know for a fact personally, anything that I lost up until the first 27 years of my life is gone. And I don't want it back. I don't. Learning to be okay with where you are, even though you may not be where you want to be, is important. But in order for you to do that, you have to realize that you're growing. And that's the fourth thing. Because change is inevitable, learning to become adaptable, learning to realize that, okay, you're not always going to keep friends and family and jobs and cars and materials, because you're not going to live forever. Eternally, yes. Spiritually, yes. Subconsciously, consciously, that's a different topic for a different day. But physically, no. So when you watch this video, start to change your perspective and understand that life is about evolving and growing. There are seasons, there's lessons, and there are blessings for you to learn, but you're not going to be able to see that there is rainbows after it rains if you're too caught up in the storm. And once again, when you don't have the support, when you don't have the family, when you don't have the friends, it does seem easier than none. But when you watch these videos, be intentional. You have to be intentional about what you do daily. And everything doesn't have to be done in a day. If people do not write books in a day, then you don't have to have everything figured out in a day. Like, if you have a goal to lose weight, like 20, 30 pounds, 40 pounds, you're not going to lose it in a day. And that is okay. It is okay. Why? Because if you don't lose the weight, let's just say you don't lose the weight in a day, what happens? You're not going to continue to show up just because things didn't happen on your timing. It's nothing wrong with setting goals. It's nothing wrong with having ideas and planning things out. But if you're not able to execute them because you're having to unlearn and learn, you don't have the resources, you don't have the support, you don't have the family, you don't have the friends, how is it going to get done? Not just that, what you went through, you're the only person who knows genuinely how you feel about it. And because there's no right or wrong way to get what you may have lost or what you've experienced, how other people feel towards you, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you from experience, all the naysayers, all the evil and wicked, anybody who caused any trials and tribulations into your life is going to be removed. they will be removed. You don't need to be worried about that. What we need to be worried about is when we're in our isolation period, healing, grieving, journaling, meditating, following me, taking these notes, watching these videos, applying the information, resting, having balance, going outside, still having a social life. Still having a social life and having them balance, so therefore you're not so sad and so overwhelmed about what you used to do and who you used to be, because we cannot go back in time. So I'm going to end off the video with that. If you guys have questions, comments, and concerns, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Thank you guys for commenting down below. Thank you for turning on your post notifications and subscribe. All my social media platforms will be down in the description box below. And if you're interested in a service-wise session, click the link in my description. But you have to realize that all you have to do today is to start making better choices. Everything is not going to change in 24 hours. And even if it were to change in 24 hours, you have to be able to maintain and sustain what it is that you want to experience, because life is a journey. The sooner you can understand that you don't have to rush, and that every single day is important, and that as long as you're learning and growing and evolving and taking your time, you will get to where you need to be. There's a appointed season and appointed time for certain things to happen. If things are not happening right now, you still have learning to do, you still have growing to do, you still have time to evolve. Like, don't feel like you're missing out just because you see others doing things. You don't know what these people go through behind closed doors. And speaking from experience, when you're building something, when you want something that's bigger than life, it requires a lot of energy, it requires a lot of effort, and you can't give up on yourself just because things are not working out when you want it to. So yes, you may be angry. You have every right to feel righteous anger. You may be frustrated. It's not to invalidate you, but speaking from experience, anything that was materialistically, you can always get back. You can't get your time back. You can't get your energy back. And when it comes to people, learning to appreciate them in your life, so therefore when they leave or when you leave, you learn what you needed from them, and vice versa. Okay? Love you. Bye.